Hi, I'm Keith Warren and welcome to Hunting and Outdoor Adventures. This week we're taking Jimmy Houston with ESPN on a turkey hunt. That is, if we can keep him quiet long enough to call in a gobbler. And then it's off to deep South Texas to help a fella out on a deer management program. So stick around.
Hunting and Outdoor Adventures with Keith Warren. This is a program about hunting. As such, it contains scenes which may not be suitable for everyone. Viewer discretion is advised.
What kind of a technique is that, man? What's the deal?
I'll tell you what.
You don't even have him hooked in the mouth of that.
I mean,
Are you going to tell us you done it on purpose?
All I did was just, I had a backlash and thought, what in the world? You're going too fast with trolling motor. Line was going out that direction, and I thought, well, maybe I got a fish on there.
You know, if you wasn't a professional, I'd just call that dumb luck myself.
Now, don't go getting up out of your chair and looking for the TV guide. You have turned into Hunting and Outdoor Adventures. It's just that my guest this week will look a little more familiar sitting in the front of a boat. You see, it turns out my fishing buddy, Jimmy Houston of ESPN Jimmy Houston Outdoors, is an absolutely rabid turkey hunter. So I don't think I'll have any trouble talking him out of this boat and into a field so he can call in some Rio Grande gobblers. Our first stop was near Campbellton, Texas on the 7-4 Ranch, a place where I had had success and seen a bunch of mature gobblers just a couple of weeks before.
See, this ranch has an abundance of water on it. Otherwise, I think these little water holes would be good spots to hold turkeys, especially in the heat of the day like this.
At 24-12 I killed last year.
Yeah.
Killed him on a water tank.
Oh, did you?
I'd seen where they'd been, you know, getting up there in water. It was a concrete set about that high off the ground. I set up about 200 yards down below it, looking down the little bottom. It was real windy like it is today. And I'd been sitting there and I was calling down that bottom. Nothing ever came out. I turned around and looked up on that water tank. And that big old gobbler was standing on that water tank. The water tank's this high and the gobbler's this high. And he was turned around the other way drinking. He just drank. Now wait till he got through drinking. He's just kind of just sort of looking around. And I called to him. When I purred, boy, he puffed up and come right on in, just walked right on in there.
24-12?
24-12.
That's a big old turkey.
7th biggest Rio Grande in the book. Big Rio Grande. We can't even find a 12-12 today.
When you're hunting with Jimmy Houston, the one thing you'll never run out of is conversation.
I'm just wondering, that wind, if they can hear that call.
Now you can hear this big old paddle pretty easy.
Well, that's loud. But
I got one that's louder than this one too. Might all be using that loud one, but that other one gobbled to this one, so.
that one this morning's gobbled to that one, right?
Yeah. It's funny sometimes, you know. That's why I carry a slate and a box and a yelper and a diaphragm and a boat paddle, and because you'll have different birds that'll react to different ones, seems to me like.
Just like carrying spinnerbaits, crankbaits, topwater lures, and worms.
Never know what they want to eat.
You got it.
Let's move on down the road a little bit.
A couple of weeks ago, when I first hunted the 7-4 Ranch, I saw a bunch of turkeys working a big field with a stock tank at one end. If they were still there, Jimmy and I figured we could ambush these birds by setting up on the other side of the tank dam.
Hey, Jimmy's here. Y'all come get him. I've got leggings on, so I guess that makes me the designated snake getter
outer. Used to throw a boy down in Florida. He had wooden legs. He'd send him a head that way. Rattlesnakes wouldn't hurt him.
He didn't have to worry about it then.
Might him on the wooden legs. One time he fell down. Dink meals. One time he fell down. Them snakes were all around him. Couldn't get back up.
With a wooden leg.
It's a pretty funny story. 2 wooden legs.
This is where you need to sit.
What you can't do is see them if they come around them that way, though. If they come around from that way, you're dead meat.
This is a funnel point. They're just gonna Come
Yeah.
right in through here. And if they do go off this other way, we can just call them right back.
Yeah.
At least that's what we thought. And it's true, we might have been able to call them back if the turkeys had actually shown up. The 7-4 ranch birds were a little too educated for us this late in the season. What we needed were some stupid birds. After the break, Jimmy and I head a bit further south in search of some inexperienced turkeys. Stick around. Even though there were a bunch of birds on the 7-4 ranch, they'd been hunted for a few weeks now and were getting wise to turkey calls. It would take a long, hard hunt to draw these birds in. And even though I love a challenge, neither Jimmy Houston nor I had room on our schedules for a long hunt. So he hit the road and headed south towards Kingsville and the B-Bar-B Ranch Inn.
There's not a lot of turkey hunting done this far south. We have a massive numbers of turkeys, and they're just not hunted that hard.
Now that's the kind of turkey hunting Jimmy and I were looking for.
The perfect deal. If birds, when they come off a roost, probably went out in that field. The perfect deal would be to bring them through that gate, because with this barbed wire, they can go under anywhere, but they do like to walk through gates.
Well, that's a perfect funnel point, too. You know, so we've got brush all around us, and these little clear spots, they like to get out there and strut.
For some reason, you know, they'll hit those fence lines and walk down fence. They just like to walk down fence.
Just like a big old bass, they like those fence lines.
Oh, God, looky there. See those heads?
Yeah. There he is. He's a young jay. There's another one with him.
I can't get my gun up. I'm just gonna have to wait. Golly, I forgot to put a call in my mouth.
Shh, don't talk. I know it's hard.
That's a true mouth call.
That's not a call. That's your mouth.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I thought you had a call in your mouth.
I forgot to put my stinking call. I did everything wrong from a call standpoint. Looky here, let me show you something else. I forgot to put my diaphragm in my mouth. Look at this, see my slate?
It's wet.
Well, let me tell you, where is it? I put a stinking soft drink in here because it's been getting so hot. I put that soft drink in there
And
for
it
later.
sweated on there.
Well, it was in a different compartment, but evidently the condensation through there, that's the only dry part of the slate that I had left right there. Now, I hit that with my striker, my end deal to try to dry it out, but that's the only dry part of the whole slate.
But that is what I think got them started.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. No, they come to the,
They
yeah.
popped out there.
Did you notice that they never made a sound?
That's right.
They never made any noise at all. They're just as quiet as they could be.
Well, we were just talking about it, that funnel point, and they came right through there. Let me crawl
I
on
won't
this
leave this
fence.
on.
When you get an opportunity like that, which is a turkey hunter's dream, to be able to see them from a long way off, and of course, you know, my gun was out of position. I had to wait until they turned their head. Everything was perfect. You really ought to go ahead and take the bird. Not a thing in the world wrong with that. Everybody wants trophies, but not anything wrong with that. And the other thing is in shooting two of them is, of course, in Texas, we're down here, we got a 4-bird limit.
That's
You know, in a lot of states you can only kill one turkey, but we're really blessed here in the state of Texas with a 4-bird limit, so nothing wrong with going ahead and shooting 2. And
Those are the best eating anyway.
this afternoon we'll go out and I'll call you one up.
That'll work.
Thank you.
Woo! Coming up next, we're going to roll back the clock from turkey season to deer season as we go for big bucks in South Texas. The fella waiting there by the side of the road for us is Terry Wiskoski, an outdoorsman from Bryan, Texas, who's invited us to come to a private ranch in South Texas for a whitetail hunt.
Terry,
Keith Warren, Terry Wiskoski.
nice to meet you in
Nice to
person.
meet you.
This is my cameraman, Alan Green.
Alan Green,
Nice to
pleasure.
meet you.
Terry Wiskoski.
Well, what's going on?
Seen some good bucks. We're in
Okay.
the pre-rut stage right now. And I know where a couple of good bucks are. It's up to you if you want to take one or not.
All right.
I got a real nice 10-point. But you know that we have a management program. What I'd like for you guys to do is I have a cull buck, and it's either going to be a high spike or a 3-point. I'd like for one of you guys to take that off first.
Okay.
That's part of the program.
That's before we can shoot a trophy buck.
That's before you shoot a trophy buck.
Okay. Is it okay for Alan to shoot it?
Sure, that'll be great. As
Okay,
long as we
good.
get it off, that'll be great.
Okay, good deal. Well, let's go then and get us at what you're going to get us in the stand.
We'll get you in the stand, get y'all guys all situated to where I'd say about 4 o'clock we ought to start seeing some animals.
Good deal. Let's go. I'll follow you back to the cabin.
Sounds
Thank you.
good.
It was starting to get late by the time Alan and I got settled down in our stand, and the deer started coming in.
There's that big 10-pointer Terry was talking about. Boy, he's got heavy horns, but you can tell he's only about a 3.5-year-old deer. He's not that old. You can tell in the nose. He must have a great management program, because just seeing young deer that are already that good, you know that he's doing something right.
Beautiful deer. Now that deer we're going for is a 3-pointer. He said something about one side being long or something like that.
He said it had a long spike on, I think he said it was his left side, and the right side had a little fork, but he says it's real long, like 10 to 12 inch long. He says there's no question when you see it, you'll know that it's a cull deer, and he wants it taken off of here before we can go trophy hunting. Look at him and make sure that's him. I don't want you to take a chance. Just look at him. Don't take it off safety. Don't take it off safety. Just look at the animal and tell me if that's him. Look through the scope.
Where'd he go?
All I can see is his head.
Oh, I see him.
That's gotta be him. That's a cull-looking deer to me. Well, let's make sure and identify him. Okay, Alan, get ready. He's walking out from behind that bush. Get ready. Don't shoot till I tell you. Look through the scope and make sure that's the deer. Look
Okay, I can't see him. Where's he at?
There's several good reasons to make a positive identification on your deer. The most urgent to me at the moment was that $2,000 trophy fee on this ranch. You see, this was Alan's first deer, and every time he came close to squeezing the trigger, I heard a cash register noise in my head.
Wait, don't take it. Wait till he leaves away from that buck. I don't want to take any chance.
I don't see him.
Look to the left of the big buck, Alan. He's walking to the road now.
Oh, I see him. To the left.
To the left of the big buck, he's walking to the road. Make sure and identify the animal first.
Okay, he stopped. Okay, good. Here he goes. Here goes.
Perfect. Man, that was a perfect shot. He went down instantly. That 7 mag does it, doesn't it?
It's bad medicine. I tell you what, this is a great rifle.
That's the management deer.
He did.
Look at that. He
Yeah.
has a spike on this side and a little fork on this one right here. That's it. And I heard Terry shoot. Let's go over there. Congratulations.
Thank you. Now let's go to work and get the big one.
When Hunting and Outdoor Adventures continues, we'll have some big South Texas bucks on the ground. Stay tuned.
Come over here and take a look at this.
Holy smokes! Look
What do you
at
think
the
about that?
size of that. Oh my Lord.
Is that a good managed buck or is that not? What do you think about that?
Oh man, look at that animal.
I like that drop time.
Oh my goodness. Look at the size of that bad boy. Oh! Terry, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Look at that deer.
Now I heard some shots y'all's direction. Did y'all shoot that call?
Yeah, Alan shot that call.
All
My
right.
goodness, I saw a great big 10-pointer, but it wasn't this big. You ain't tell me I can go for one of these now?
I'll tell you what we're gonna do. I know the weather's gonna change on us. It may get a little bit foggy, but I got a good deer picked out for you. Hopefully he'll come.
Okay.
Let's put you in the stand and let's get with it.
Well, let's load this thing up. I want to get out there. I mean, look at this. Holy smokes. This is a result of trophy management. There's no question. Big deer like this are no accident.
None.
You have done a tremendous job out here. It's rather obvious, and let's go get me in a stand. What is that?
Keith, this right here is what did it. That deer was going up that hill right there, and he was up about, I'd say, a couple of 100 yards chasing a doe, and he would never stop. I sat there and I grunted a couple times. He turned around broadside, went down. And if it wouldn't have been for this, I don't think I would have stopped him. And I don't think I'd have this animal on the ground.
But he was chasing a doe when
He was chasing a doe. Yes, he was.
And it stopped him.
It stopped him dead in his tracks.
He thought there was another dominant buck in the area, I guess.
That's right.
I want to find out who it was.
But I'm a believer in these things. They work. If people just get out there and work them, this is the end result.
Let's go, man.
Can't get any better than this.
I got to get in the blind right quick.
We didn't have much of a measurable rut this past season in South Texas, but what there was seemed to have happened the second I sat down in my blind. I saw a nice buck running some does, stopped him with my grunt call, and then stopped him permanently with my 7 mag.
Look at that. Oh man, folks. That is what a South Texas hunt is all about. Wait until they're in the rut, use a grunt call, and look at that thing. Look at the size of the horns on that bad boy. It's a beautiful, beautiful animal. 11 points, about 18 inches inside. That's a beautiful animal. Wide open, full-blown rut. Look at that. What a trophy buck. The most important tool in your arsenal for hunting whitetail deer any time of year is called the grunt call. Don't leave home without it. From bow season all the way through rifle season, you can use the grunt call successfully to call in big whitetail bucks. I'd like to thank Terry Wiskoski for taking me on the hunt today, and I'd like to thank all y'all for watching. Now, if you like what we're doing on the show, tell somebody about it. I'm Keith Warren, and I'll see you next week right here on Hunting and Outdoor Adventures. That's the best buck I've ever gotten.
This would be a great morning to be down on that lake in Mexico. Golly, top water. Whew. The last time I was down there, I caught 3 smallmouth. Biggest one was 3.5.
Top water.
No, crankbaits. I couldn't get them to touch the top water. I think it may be still a little early. But that was 3 weeks ago. They ought to be on top now.
It's not cooling now.